Hey guys, this is Paul from Dog Bites. I'm here with Cherie and today we're going to show you how we make our biscuits. Let's do it.
Beef veggie bark. So we have our fresh sweet potato. We're actually going to make a double batch of it today. Now we have got our Dog Bites flour mix here. Now Dog Bites flour mix is made up of organic, wheat-free, grain-free flour. Now the reason why we use this mix is because I think it's a bit more healthier for dogs. As there's no wheat, there's no grain in it, and it's not, so it's very good for allergenic dogs. So we've already mixed the flours up. We use about 3 different types of flour of our gluten mix. So I'm just measuring it out at the moment for our double batch. So we keep our flours in sealed containers and then we put them in the fridge to keep them a bit more fresher. Okay, so here we are. We're going to peel our potatoes. Now I use raw produce. A few reasons why I do raw is because in the wild your dogs don't have cooked food. Now with the sweet potato, the dogs can take a little bit more time to digest it. Some people think that they don't digest it at all. So for this reason, and because the reasons we don't cook it, is I blend it. So I crunch it up into tiny, tiny pieces. Therefore, it's better for the dog to be able to digest it. So I do take the skin off this. I do not use the skin of this one. And our carrots. Now, sweet potato. Our sweet potato is locally sourced. So we go to the markets and we buy all our produce from the local markets. Sweet potato are rich in beta-carotene, dietary fibre, vitamin B6, vitamin C's and minerals. All really, really good for your dogs. So what I do with this is I blend it so I can crush it. But first of all, I'll do it in smaller quantities to make it blend a bit better. Next ingredient is our chia seeds. Now, with our chia seeds, I crack them or I process them before I add them to our dish. The reason being is that dogs have a bit of trouble digesting these seeds. So a lot of people think that chia seeds come out as they go in. Now you want to get your dog to have as much benefit from this super seed as possible. So I crack them and I break them. Now, chia seeds have 3 times the amount of omega-3 fatty acids as what salmon does. It is important to balance. So these are your chia seeds. We use the black ones. No difference in the white or the black. It is important to balance out your omega-6 fatty acids in humans as well as dogs. And your chia seeds have the actual ratio of omega-3 to omega-6. Chia seeds are high in fibre, they stable the blood sugars, they contain more calcium than whole milk, more iron than spinach, and more magnesium than broccoli. So this is why I ground them and then I put them in the processor. A carrot. Carrots are good for your dog's teeth. They're low in calories, high in fibre, and better carotene and vitamin A. It also can improve their vision. Carrots can be cancer preventative, so they're found. And carrots can protect your dog's coat, but from the inside, not from the, it's better from the inside, and this is one thing that will do that. So I chop these up as well. These ones I leave the skin on them, but I do take the eyes off. There you go. Process and mix. Dry. I'm not adding any water into this mix. It will take a little bit longer, especially for this processor. So I give it a shake. So we don't want any big lumps in there. Our sweet potato and carrot and our chia seeds. And this is the consistency that we want. There's no big lumps in there. The dogs will be able to digest it because our furry little friends have a different digestive system to us humans. We can eat potatoes and we can digest them and our body gets the nutrient from them. But with our four-legged friends, they do not have that ability. They have a short digestive tract and they don't seem to have the food in their stomach as long as what we humans do. So for your pets, or especially dogs, for your dogs to get as much nutrition out of this as possible, we crush our produce so it's more easier for the dogs to digest. Okay, our next step is to mix it so it's all combined. We do not add any sugar, we don't add any salt, and we do not add any fat. There's fat in the meat itself, so they're getting the natural fats. This is our homemade beef jerky. We dehydrate our own beef jerky here. And this is what I use in our biscuits. So first of all, I'm just going to give them a bit of a crunch up. Not a big deal, not a great deal crunch up, just enough. And then I add this to our biscuits. This is psyllium husk that we're adding into the mixture. The reason why we add psyllium husk is because we don't use anything in our biscuits to bind the dough. Psyllium husk will bind the dough in a natural way, and it also is really good for your dogs because if your dogs have diarrhea, then psyllium husk will make it into a harder stool. If they are constipated, psyllium husk will actually regulate them and let them be able to go to the toilet much more easier. So, but it works in both ways. Now I have my trusty little assistant here, Paul. He's kneading the dough now. He kneads the dough better than what I do. And then what we do with the dough, because the dough is so sticky, we put it in the fridge for about 10 minutes, knead it, put it in the fridge for about 10 minutes and knead it. Okay, our dough's just out of the fridge now. We've just mixed in a bit more beef. So as you can see by our process, we do put a lot of time into our biscuits to try and make them the best quality tasting biscuits that we can for our little four-legged friends.
This one's a really sticky dough. Due to the fresh ingredients. Blend this back through as well to mix that flour in, the extra flour I'm using on the board, due to how sticky it is with the fresh produce.
We've got our mix out of the fridge. We've kneaded it a few times. Now this is our last process before our cooking. So what we're doing here is scooping our mixture out, because this biscuit's a very sticky biscuit. So to roll it, it's not a very good dough to roll. And we do not want to make it overly floury for the dog's palate. So this is what our biscuits look like. And this is what we're going to do to all our biscuits once we've scooped them out. We've flattened them, and then we've made lines in the biscuits. So if you want to break them into a training size treat, you can. Or you can break it in half for a smaller dog. These are our final biscuits. We're now going to put them in the oven and bake them.
Righty, what we've got here now is a finished product, pretty much, almost. These biscuits now are just going to go into the dehydrator. That's it there. So, let's set that tray in. There we go. And what we do here is we usually basically dehydrate these biscuits for a few hours, and what that does is basically make a crunchy biscuit, takes the moisture out of the biscuit, actually prolongs the shelf life, or the life of the biscuit at your place. So we'll just let that run now for quite a few hours, and we'll be back.